Well, hey, my friend. Welcome to Creatives on Fire, the go-to podcast for content creators looking to grow their audience as well as their income. I'm so excited you're here. I'm your host, Melanie Ferguson. Well, hey, welcome back to the podcast. This week, I want to talk about something that I feel like I've heard from a lot of people. A lot of people said that they kind of drifted off during the summer or purposely took a break from their business. And so I want to kind of talk about how to come back from that, how to ease back into your business after you've been off from either having your kids with you 24/7 or going on lots of trips and fun things, or even just kind of letting your business take a back seat while you enjoyed the warm summer months. And there's no shame in that. And there is definitely a place for rest. But then we all know we've got to get back in the groove. And I want to talk about 5 ideas of ways to make that process and that transition from summer to hitting the pavement a little bit easier. All right. So the first thing I want us to consider is choosing time blocks ahead of time. So the more on purpose I've found that I am with my business, the easier it is. It's like instead of the business telling me what to do, I'm telling the business how I am going to run it. So if you can choose your time blocks ahead of time, it's going to make everything go a lot smoother. So what I want you to do is get out your favorite planner or what I like to do is grab a specific like spreadsheet for the fourth quarter, because we all know fourth quarter is basically here. It's nipping at our heels and it is going to be different than the rest of the year. All right. So go ahead and schedule out. First of all, this is the good part. Go ahead and schedule out your next trip, your next break, your next fun thing that you're going to do. And if you don't have anything, make something up. I want you to go ahead and put something down that you can look forward to. This is going to be our guiding kind of like thing that we're working towards, this carrot in the future. And we're like, oh, if I can just get through this, I have that coming up. So I think this is super important. I didn't always recognize the importance of having this in my life, but as I've gotten older, I've realized that having that little thing that is exciting and something to look forward to is something that makes all the difference in the daily. So schedule out your next break. And then I want you to be very intentional about the time that you choose to say that you are going to commit to working. It doesn't have to be, on Tuesdays and Thursdays. No, I want it to be from 8 to 9, on Monday, from 2 to 4 on Tuesday, and from 12 to 1 on Thursdays. It needs to be very specific. These are our time blocks or whatever it looks like for you, but these are time blocks that you're going to put into your calendar that are planned out ahead of time, that you know that no matter what, you can sit down and get some dedicated work done, uninterrupted. That's the key. And so, of course, you can work around those as well. But these are the time blocks that you can commit to putting in time for your business. All right. I spent a lot of time on that because time blocks are so important. And without them, it makes our life a whole lot harder. It's kind of where you feel like you've worked and worked and worked and you look up and you have nothing to show for it. It's because it was all busy work. You just worked in between things and you weren't even sure what you were working on. And every time you sat down, you were like starting with a blank slate. And I don't want that for you. So go ahead after break, choose time blocks, stick to them, figure out which ones they are. And if you need to obviously tweak them later, you're obviously welcome to. All right. The second one is super exciting. Oh my goodness. This one is one of my favorites. I want you to change up your workspace. I want you to start with a fresh start. So you may say, Melanie, my stuff's all perfect the way where it is. Everything is set up how I want it. So even if you can't like turn your desk around or put it on a different wall or change where you sit, or maybe you do a stand-up desk instead of a sit-down desk, I want you to consider just something new for your space. whether that is, like we said, a new spreadsheet, a new planner. I want it to be something new that feels fresh and new for you, because there's just something about new that gets us excited and gets us motivated. Am I right? Or am I right? All right, so you're gonna change up your workspace. Sometimes it's as simple as like a little candle, like a cute little candle for your workspace. But if you can, I'd like it to be big, like move your desk, get a new chair, do something that makes a big difference, and it's gonna change your attitude. I promise. Just trust me on this. All right, number 3, I want you to evaluate your plan. So before you get started, I want you to think to yourself, what is it that I do for work that gets me the most excited? What am I the most excited to come back to and dive into? You may be saying to yourself, a certain platform. And I want you to take note of that, because that means that's the platform you need to focus on. You can repurpose to other platforms, but the one that you're the most excited about, or I would say the least maybe unexcited about, the least unexcited sometimes is what it has to be for me. But the one that you find yourself drawn to, that's the one you're going to focus on. That's the one you're going to put your energy into. Something about working on something that excites you makes it a little bit easier. It makes it a little less heavy. And I know that the second you do something in your business, it creates a snowball of momentum, and you automatically will have the energy to continue and do the next thing and the next thing. So I want you to do the most exciting thing first, put that down in your time block schedule, and then right after it, your hardest thing. Okay. And then after that, your medium things. So if you do the fun thing first, then the hardest thing, it's going to be easier. Now, I know that when you were on summer vacation and you had this time and you were either hanging out at the beach or in the mountains, I don't even know, but I know that that is where the big ideas happen. So you probably were inundated with some really fun and really exciting things that you couldn't wait to get back and put into action. But I want to caution you that when you come back from summer break, that you need to start small. Start simple, start easy. And a lot of times these really exciting big dreams and ideas and things that we want to do are kind of like overwhelming, because maybe we're not sure how that looks or what to do to start that. And that's not where I want you to start. When you come back, first on your calendar, your planner, your spreadsheet, I want you to put in the things that are familiar, the things that you know you need to do and have always done because it actually moves the needle in your business. I want you to put those things in first. And then I want you to break down that big idea into steps and add those steps in as you can. Does that make sense? I want you to not start out with that big, exciting dream, because sometimes we get to the point where we're like, yeah, I want to start my blog. I want to start my YouTube channel. And then you sit down and you're like, ugh, there's so much that goes into this. I don't know where to start. And you spend your entire time block thinking of all the things you need to do and how you don't know how you're going to get them done. Okay. That is not what that time block is for. I want you to do the regular, familiar things first, break down that big, exciting idea, and put it into steps that you add in afterwards. All right, number 4 idea for making coming back from summer break smooth and transitional is that while you are creating these time blocks, evaluating your plan and your platforms, I want you to consider something that I learned a long time ago in James Clear's book called Atomic Habits. It's called habit stacking. So while you're at it, why not just add a small personal habit to each of those working time blocks that you've created for yourself? So what does that look like, Melanie? Well, I'm so glad you asked. I have a couple of ideas here, and I'm super excited to try them out. So say you have time blocked yourself from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Monday mornings. All right. Decide ahead of time that you're also going to pencil in a 15-minute walk before and a 15-minute walk after. All right. So it's basically a walking sandwich. Have you seen, okay, squirrel moment. Have you seen those walking meals that people do where they like open up a little bag of chips and put stuff on it and it's like walking Frito pie or whatever? I'm like, that's what it makes me think of. So stack a habit either before, after, or both to this new business time block that will push your personal life forward. Maybe it's as simple as sitting down with a Stanley cup full of water and you've told yourself, listen, during this time block, I am going to finish this water. And that is maybe your habit stack. Or maybe it is, if you're trying to get, like me, more fruits and vegetables in, maybe you make a little snack charcuterie, a work charcuterie coffee mug, and you put in some fresh veggies or some fruits or both, and you have that snack and you say, hey, when work gets stressful, you have these veggies and fruits already pre-planned and pre-made sitting right next to you. You can tell yourself, this is going to be my go-to during my work session. So these are just some ideas for you to think about habit stacking when it comes to personal goals with your business time blocks. I hope that's helpful. I think it's fun. All right, number 5, a final idea for getting out of the summer break and into your working groove is so huge, y'all. I want you to consider automating everything possible. Everything possible. I need to really look at what I have on my plate right now and see if there's anything else I could automate. I automate a ton of things. I want you to set that up now. And let me tell you what that's going to do. It's going to make every day feel like a vacation. I know a lot of people just like really live in vacation mode and they're like, oh, if I was just at the beach, if my toes were just in the sand. This is the closest thing to bringing that back to the forefront of your mind and letting you feel like you're on vacation is having things automated. I cannot express this to you enough. It's like work is getting done while you aren't working on it. And it is just the best feeling ever. Of course, I've got a couple of ideas for you. We've got, of course, Facebook Fuel, which we have strong and going. Simply go to creativesonfirepodcast.com/Facebook and read all about it. Sign up. It's super simple. You will get in there and you will have templates that are ready to plug and play, and you can put into your Facebook every single week. And those will work for you on autopilot to get engagement, reach, and everything up on your account. And then something that I put together a while back this year that I have been absolutely loving is my evergreen email system. And basically, a quarter at a time, all of my emails are planned out, they are done, and they are on a rotation Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. They get my blog content out there to my readers on autopilot, and I don't have to think about it. And what the beautiful thing is, next year, all I have to do, open up that quarter's set of emails, check if I want to, switch one out with anything more current or not. And next year's is already all done. It is so, I can't tell you, the feeling of having an email go out on my behalf every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday is the most glorious thing. And I am getting real page views from it. I'm getting real click-throughs to my blog from the Evergreen email system. I can do an entire podcast episode on it if you guys are interested. Just be sure to comment over on the blog and let me know. But the Evergreen email system has been an amazing thing. And of course, batching and scheduling as many things as possible is huge as well for making yourself feel like you are on vacation mode 24/7. So I hope these 5 things are helpful for you to come back from summer break refreshed and just ready to hit the ground running. Hopefully you can take one or all 5 of these and put them into action for yourself. We talked about choosing time blocks ahead of time for your schedule and scheduling in that next vacation right now. Then we talked about changing up your atmosphere, changing up your desk space, your office space. At the very least, add a new candle. Start a new spreadsheet for fourth quarter special that has all of your content in it. Number 3, we talked about evaluating your plan. What are you the most excited about? Which platform gets you super pumped? and start there, something that you look forward to and energizes you. And be careful and cautious about those big ideas you get on vacation. Be sure to break them down into tiny steps and put them behind the familiar. Put them behind the things that have already been proven to move the needle in your business. And then number 4, while you're at it, add some habit stacking. Add some personal things to your work blocks that are going to move your personal life forward as well. And number 5, automate everything possible. All right, my friend, I hope this helps you come back, hit the ground running, and be super successful. Be sure to let me know. If you have not already given the podcast a 5-star review, I would absolutely adore you for doing that. Obviously, I love it when you share it with a friend, but leaving a review, even if you've already done so, is one of the best blessings you could possibly give me. All right, until next time, my friend, stay creative.